Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back for another deck profile here. Now, last week I did the Deep Sea King Coelacanth Caliuga deck. This week I'm kind of going back to meta. I know people were asking me, some of my friends and some of the comments were asking me about, like, what's your Drytron list or whatever. So obviously, like, I actually uploaded Megalith Drytron on the channel before. I was a huge fan of, like, the Megalith engine. Still am right now because it gives it more consistency, in my opinion, with the more ritual monsters and stuff. It just makes it easier to play. I was playing pure 41 cards, 40 cards and 41 cards at the beginning of the week, and I was just kind of like, let me throw the fucking Megalith cards in here, and just because I was so tired of drawing two cards that had they were the same card in 40 cards, so I was like, you know what, you'll see it. I'll go through and explain this, but yeah, guys, without further ado, it's just the Megalith Drytrons. This deck's very insane. I will show you a combo video at the end of this and what you can do with the deck. Also, I had to put on all white with the fairy stuff, and my girlfriend's fairy mat, so. I know you guys remember this structure deck where the orange light got reprinted. But anyways, so let me go through this real quick. So, 3 Diviner the Herald. Obviously, this card's not budget in any way, shape, or form. This card is, it's like $75, $80 time of recording. But whenever this card's summoned, it sends a fairy from either deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and then it gains its level. And then if it's distributed, it special summons a level 2 or lower fairy monster from your hand or deck to the field. You won't be using that because you know how the Drytrons are, which I'll get into and explain that in a second. This card's just very good. And then 3 Alpha. So this card, all the Drytrons have that same first effect where they're like, if this card's in hand or graveyard, you contribute a Drytron monster or a ritual monster from field or hand to summon them from graveyard or hand. So this one, whenever it's summoned, it adds a ritual monster from deck to hand. This is probably the most important one since Ben 10's at 1, obviously. So, and then 3 Zeta. This is the same thing, same clause, except for this adds a ritual spell, which is very important. I think my Drytron lineup is fairly standard, and then I just play 2 Gamma. This is the one that summons a Drytron from graveyard, and this is the one that if you have a ritual spell or a ritual monster in your hand, you can reveal to draw a card. So I actually was playing two Deltas, and I cut down on it. I don't know why I did. I just did. So it's actually the second one's in my honorable mentions, which I'll go over in a second at the very end of this. I will show you a combo, which is show you what you can do with this. But obviously the one Ben 10 of this card's distributed adds a fairy from deck to hand. This card went to 1. It didn't really hurt the consistency of the deck because there's like 15 copies of this in the deck, so it just doesn't really matter. And then this is the bomb, dude. The 4K guy can't be targeted. This card just does so much. I think every list is playing this, so I'm not going to go super in depth on it, but it synergizes with the Mu Beta, so it's definitely needed. The one thing that I do play that's mad different is I actually do play Hailroad Perfection. This is a super throwback from when I was younger. I remember this deck was popular in like 2009, 2010, somewhere around there when Shining Darkness came out, and it was just, But the reason I like this over the Ultimateness is because this is level 6, so sometimes, like, this deck is very backup proof. Like, if you get drolled or you get hit in a certain scenario, you want to have backups, you know what I mean? So I actually kind of built the deck around having a backup plan in case you get drolled, in case you get, whatever what may have you. But this is just very good, and I'll explain a little bit more about this once I go to the extra deck. So. And then one to eat it in. People, you have to play this now because Ben 10's at 1, so level 6, and it just kind of facilitates a lot cards a lot more. The Drytrons just make it easier to play with. And then I am playing the one Natasha. The one thing I want to note about Natasha is one of my honorable mentions. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this card, but you can send this to the graveyard with the Diviner and make it level 7, and then use one of the Drytron monsters to make the Chaos Roller, and then mill 5, and then you see where I'm going. But one thing about this card too is like the Edatin, you need to have another name. You know what I mean? More Cyber Angels since Ben 10's at 1. But this is also a very big threat to Zeus. If this is in the graveyard and they Zeus you, it's kind of hard for them to like kind of, you know, continue the ball rolling if they know you have this. So like getting this out, it's not necessary to play this card. I just think this card is just very good. Won me a lot of matches this week. So, and then I am playing the Megaliths. So just 2 full. Whenever this card's summoned, it adds a ritual monster back from your graveyard to your hand. It becomes at level. So it adds back Ben 10 and then becomes a level 6. So usually overlay with the Diviner and the this to make the Beatrice. Because Beatrice is like a huge part of this deck, as everyone knows. So you know. And this card lets you ritual summon from your deck during either main phase. This card is just very important. So. Then the last card, last ritual monster is the Ophelia, Ophelia, oh fuck. This card kind of gives you an extra ritual summon per turn. Whenever this card is ritual summon, though, it adds a Megalith monster from deck to hand. So. And then this is like my tech. This has like been floating around forever. People were talking about this, and I'm kind of sad it came to the light in I think Team Samurai X1 profile, but Jesse Cotton, great player, was talking about the Necrobanshee. I actually main deck this because, like I said, I built this deck as like a backup plan. And the zombie world, like usually the combo I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go full combo in. I'm going to show you what you can do, and then you can just judge where you make it. But I like to do this on my opponent's turn with the Beatrice. On my turn, I'll send the Beatrice send. And then on my opponent's turn, I'll send this to the graveyard to activate the zombie world because it just, you know, beats, you know, Tri-Brigades, beats Dinosaurs, Dragon Link, if you add the zombie world up. So, and then I actually did switch back to Eva. Card's just very good. This being a level 1 is kind of interesting. Which I actually was testing Where Art Thou. I ended up cutting it because it was just more susceptible to draw. It's like playing less Fafnirs, you know what I mean? So one thing I did want to point out about this after the Eva with the Necrobanshee, there was a couple times because I am playing triple orange light. No, I don't have alties. Pan back up here. Shout out to my boy Cody Reyna. My boy Cody Reyna has his deck maxed out, but I haven't decided if I want to buy alties of this yet. But there was actually a couple hands with the Herald of Perfection where I actually opened this, and I would use the Herald to tribute both of these off to summon the Herald of Perfection, and then add this back with the Ritual spell, and then the Necrobanshee, which is already in the graveyard because it's level 6 together. So just something to keep in mind. But and then I think this is I am playing Triple Lancia. You guys know I love this card, but people usually play one of this because it's searchable. I totally understand. But at the same time, I actually am playing the pre-prep to add the Herald of Perfection. So, like, even if this card isn't good against that deck, once you slap down the Herald of Perfection, this just becomes a negate in itself. So it just doesn't really matter in that fact. So, excuse me. Oh, fuck. And then for the spells, I'm just playing one Mediotis. I think everyone knows what this card does. And one Dawn of the Herald. Whenever you were to summon a Herald, you can banish this to add the card you ritual summons back, like I just talked about. So. And then I am playing one Fafnir. Like I said, I am playing more cards in this deck, but it was more consistent for me, so you guys can test this list if you want. If not, you can call me crazy and think it's trash, but it's good, dude. So. The card's very good. Don't forget to chain block with this, by the way. So. And then I am playing, like I stated, with the Necrobanshee. I am playing one Zombie World. There was actually a couple games I actually played against Dinos. Won the die roll when I was playing, and I actually had like a very subpar open, and I just activated this like a Perfection and a Beatrice with this, and I only had one fairy in hand and just passed, and they couldn't play because I had this up. So I was like, nice, dude. Also, this won me a couple games against Tri-Brigades. So I was like, yeah, dude, sick. And then the other one-ups, just Called by the Grave and Foolish Burial. This is for Droll. Obviously, Foolish Burial is anything in this deck. So, and then 3 of the Novas. Now you guys will understand here why I played so many cards. I think this is a 50-card list. You guys know I like playing big decks. But 3 of these, I don't want to see it all the time. I was, like I said, testing 40, kept drawing multiples of like, I would like open a hand with like 2 Cyber Emergencies, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This card's obviously for consistency. And then here's 3 of the pre-prep. This is the one that adds Dawn of the Herald and the Herald of Perfection. So there was a couple hands like playing 40, 41, 42, whatever. I would open 2 of these, or I would open the Ritual Dawn of the Herald and this, and I was just like, oh, sweet. And then I am, contrary to popular belief, I actually am playing Preparation Rites. I know a lot of people aren't playing this right now, but I just think with the Megalith stuff, it's just, you can't ignore it. Like, you have to kind of play it. But and then 3 Dark Ruler. I think Dark Ruler is just kind of the, the bee's tits. So for this deck, Droplets, like obviously Droplets is insane, but I just still feel like Dark Ruler is better. Don't crucify me, but in some scenarios, each one's better. But all right, so for the extra deck, obviously I'm playing 2 Mu Beta. This card is the on summon, it dumps a Drytron monster from your deck to the graveyard. Whenever you ritual summon, you can just detach from it for material for the ritual summon. If you control a machine ritual monster, your opponent activates a spell or trap, you can just detach and negate it. So that's kind of for the big Medionis Drytron guy. And then one of this card, the fucko. This is just like guarantee. You just guarantee another turn. Sometimes you actually make this. There's like a point in the combo where like I actually prefer making this over IP, just depending on what's going on. So I don't know. This card's very insane though. So obviously 1 Beatrice and 1 Zeus. These are just very standard. Also, one thing about the Beatrice that people don't know is like it's a light fairy, so you can send it off like Eva can send from field or banish from field or graveyard. So this is a light fairy, so just keep that in mind. And then for the other 2 standards, 2 Arclight and the 1 Entis. Obviously, the Diviner Dumping is popping a card, and then Diviner Dumping is searching, whatever pieces you don't have. So, and then for the Link monsters, just 1 Link Rebo. This card's just obviously very insane, very powerful for what it is. It's just this card's just very good. Like playing against dinos, like you already have a better matchup against dinosaurs, like with Lancia and all that stuff, and like this, if you go first, obviously making this, putting it in the graveyard, and then they give you a Lost World token, you just, tag it out for this. And then the other links, the 1 IP, I think IP is very standard as well. And then the, this card is so good. So, this is the one, if Link Summon, it's like the Hida, but it's for lights. It steals like their Heraldic Link, the Heraldic Seal from graveyard that you may access, or whatever. This card's just very good. Sometimes it summons Tyranno when it's summoned properly. You know what I mean? This card's just. So and then the other Link 2s, just the Phoenix, because sometimes you co-link this with the Link Haribo draw card, and then just the Unicorn. Then the other two links, I chose to play these. Honorable mention, I do have Boral Sword in the honorable mentions. It didn't come up as much as these, so we'll see. But I'm gonna show you a quick combo and just kind of what you can do with it. I'm not gonna go full bore on it because like there's so many decision trees in this deck that you're kind of like, All right. So let me go all the way back. I just need a Zeta and an Alpha. This is kind of a, and I'll put the 3 Dark Rulers. Let me scoot on down here. All right, you can still see that? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is your hand. These are obviously 3 blanks. It doesn't really matter what they are. So obviously what you're gonna do is Alpha, tribute the Zeta, so summon. Alpha's effect will add the, the Benten. Obviously, this is also like the Megalith stuff. It kind of gives you more options when you play, because if you just play the standard 5 ritual monsters, it's kind of like, oh, like they know what I'm gonna do. But like if you play the Megalith stuff, a lot of people still don't know what Megalith cards do, and I don't blame them. But so anyways, so here we are, and then Zeta, tribute the Benten, and this will add a ritual spell. And if you open this, obviously you can do a different line of play here. It doesn't really matter. And then the beta will activate, or the Ben 10 will activate and add the diviner. Okay. And you'll normal summon the diviner and send the Arclight to graveyard. This will become level 6, and then Arclight will activate and add you the. This is kind of more like the Megalith stuff more, and I'll add the Fool to hand. Okay. And then here, I'm going to overlay these two for the view beta, and then activate the Megalith Drytron. Detach one of these from it, summon the Fool. Okay. Fool's effect will activate and add back the Ben 10 from graveyard to hand. It also is just kind of like playing more Megaliths is like playing more Ben 10s in my opinion, because this becomes level 6 now, so you can Beatrice. But so they were also, I forgot, I'm sorry, on summon this dumps a Drytron, so you always want to dump the Gamma. So on summon, just ignore me. This would already be in the graveyard. Okay, so you just have so many other plays to like go through here, and then you can use the Fool to ritual summon a Megalith from your deck, so you'll tribute the Ben 10. To ritual summon the Ophelia, okay, and then this will activate, and there's a you can add the other 3 cards in your hand could be whatever, you know what I mean. I'm just using the Dark Rulers for it, but this can add whatever. So I usually like to add just let's just say this, because like I said, I built this deck on backup plans. So you'd add this, okay, and then this is the let's see, so that goes to this, and then this is the one that, let me make sure that the I'm sorry, I'm fucking dumb. This also adds to the Fool, so it would actually be, when I use the Fool, I'm sorry, it will tribute this, and this will be Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. This will add the Fool first. So the second Fool, and then the Ben 10 will add the Lancia, or whatever, whatever fairy you want. And like I said, I built this deck on backup plans, so now you can do a whole bunch of things. Your graveyard, you still have the Gamma, the Meteonis, so we're just going to lower this by 1,000, add back the Meteonis. And then here is where you can Meteonis Drytron and send, actually we're not going to do that yet. We're going to do, let's see, I guess, well, yeah, so we would Meteonis Drytron, summon this back for this, or I guess the Fool, it wouldn't really matter. And then, is this how I want to go about it? No, I don't think so. So basically, let me just do this real quick. This is just kind of easier. So this is where you can kind of gauge where you're going from here, except for instead of this, I'm going to do the Beatrice first. I think this is the correct one to play, because I want to show the backup plan this deck has. Like I said, like the look, I added the Lancia. So here you would make the Beatrice, obviously. Attach this, you would send the Eva. Okay, Eva's effect will activate, and you'll banish the Diviner and the Arclight to add another orange. You can add an orange light, and then you'd add a Diviner for the backup plan. I don't want to show like a full bore thing. I just want to show you how this would go, because there's so many things you can do, as you saw the extra deck. So this is currently your hand. You have this. Obviously, you can make the IP, and then you still have the Gamma. So like you could, Gamma, this Gamma will summon back. Thuban. Also, if this summons back, it doesn't have to be in defense mode because it's not its own effect. So, and like this could be IP. You know what I mean? So, basically what I want to show you is, so you see the card hand size, right? You have just this. This is 4 cards plus the 3 cards you started with. You have all this, And then what I was talking about is on your opponent's turn, you would detach for Beatrice, and then you would send the Necroworld Banshee, banish this, and then you'd activate the Zombie World. So there's so many lines of play here. Like, it's kind of whatever you want to do. Like, look how many cards you have to play with. God knows what these would have been. You know what I mean? So, so I'm not going to go any further than this, but yeah, guys. So you could make. There's so many ways to just continue this based off of what's in the extra deck. So yeah, guys. I mean, you see it, but thanks for watching, guys. Also, next week I'm gonna have something different. Let me know in the comments if you want what kind of deck you want for next week, meta-wise. Maybe I'll do something crazy, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.